us from birth, the black male child is systematically miseducated. It is on purpose. It happens in the UK, it happens in the US, it happens in Canada, and it happens in South Africa. In fact, the United Kingdom, the United States, and the Republic of South Africa share something in common. They have the 3 highest black male incarceration rates in the world. Wow. So what is it about the US, the UK, and the Republic of South Africa that has more black men going to jail than almost anywhere else in the world? You know what they share? They share the commonality of white supremacy. Racism is in its purest form here in the UK, in its purest form in the US, and it's in its purest form in the Republic of South Africa. And because racism is so aggressive, the incarceration of black males must take place because its goal is to keep the black male from competing equitably and fairly with the white male for political and economic control of society. This is why, in my opinion, as an educator and a psychologist, white women have no right educating black males. White men have no right educating black males. It is a natural conflict of interest for a member of my oppressor's community to be responsible for the liberation of the oppressed community. What white woman is going to prepare a black boy in London to be equitably prepared, politically, economically, and socially, to challenge her own son for control of this society 20 years from now? No white woman is going to put a black boy in that position, which is why she should never be allowed to educate him. So that education is key. And then the economics. They're destroying us through the economics. Lack of access to capital. Lack of access to capital is the main strategy used in the Western world, US, Canada, UK, and even in Southern Africa and other places, to keep the black male from being able to empower himself individually and collectively. What I'm saying is this: you may have the blueprints for an automobile that can outperform and outachieve Mercedes-Benz and BMW. But if you go to one of the banks in the UK and you need a couple $100 million rand loan to build your factory and start producing your cars and importing your products, are you likely to get it? Not at all. He may have a business idea that is greater than Walmart, a black mart, if you would. But what bank in the UK is going to give him a line of credit to build his black marks to challenge Walmart? I may have a cell phone idea that exceeds the iPhone. I have an idea for a phone that would put the iPhone out of business. But what bank in the United States, what bank in the UK, what bank in Canada or Johannesburg is going to give me a loan to empower my idea, which would in turn allow me to do what? Put thousands of black men to work with my idea. We don't get access to the lines of credit. Now let's look at all the other ethnic groups in the UK. Chinese are empowered. European Jews are empowered. The Arabs are empowered. Why are they empowered? They're able to access capital through their own native banks and they bring it with them, or they're able to access capital in your banks. Why? Because they suffer from the positive stereotype, if there is such a thing. And the positive stereotype says the Chinese are hardworking. The positive stereotype says the European Jew is very industrious with his dollar. The positive stereotype says the Arab has a history of economic success. And the negative stereotype, which affects us, says black people do not have the intelligence to handle large amounts of money responsibly. And because of that, they discriminate against us economically. The racism is in the banks. Remember, Dr. King was murdered 50 years ago, not because he had a dream and not because he opposed the war on Vietnam. Dr. King was murdered because he was about to embark upon a breadbasket campaign. He was going to take poor black, poor whites to the United States government, the capital of the most powerful government in the world. And they were going to live there and sleep there and eat there. And no one was going to leave until they left with a home and a job. Dr. King was proposing economic revolution, and that's why he was murdered. The next stage of the Pan-African Renaissance in the international African struggle is a struggle for economic liberation.